What if I told you that a single reckless act, something that began as a careless joke, could change an entire room of people in an instant? What if I told you that one man's attempt to impress his friends ended with every soul in a crowded bar frozen in silence, humbled by a truth too raw to ignore? Stay with me. Because this story isn't about embarrassment. It's about courage, scars, and the kind of strength you'll never forget. The night began like many others at Rusty's Roadhouse, a small, town bar tucked just off the highway. The neon signs buzzed against the glass windows, and the scent of grilled burgers mixed with the faint tang of spilled beer. The jukebox played old country songs that competed with the raucous laughter of bikers, huddled in leather jackets around wooden tables. It was a place where tough men came to forget their pain and loud engines drowned out quiet regrets. Among the regulars was Travis. Broad-shouldered, tattooed, with a scar running down his jaw, he was the kind of man who drew attention without trying. His reputation preceded him. Quick with his fists, quicker with his temper, but always the center of his crew. To the outside world, he seemed fearless, untouchable, but inside he was running from shadows of his own. Losses he never spoke about, mistakes he tried to bury beneath bravado and whiskey. Then there was Emily. She wasn't flashy. No leather jacket, no tattoos, no stories of wild rides. She was the opposite of the chaos that filled the bar, a quiet, gentle presence who somehow kept the place together when the night grew rowdy. She had only been working there for a little over a year, but everyone knew her. Not just for her smile, but for the way she remembered names, asked after families, and treated even the drunkest customer with dignity. To many she was just the waitress. To Travis, she was just another face. Or at least that's what he told himself. That night, Emily carried a tray of beers past Travis's table. His friends were already half drunk, daring each other to louder jokes and wilder stunts. Travis, eager to keep his image, leaned back in his chair, eyes following Emily as she walked by. Something in him, maybe the need to show off, maybe the emptiness he masked with arrogance, sparked a reckless idea. In a moment of thoughtless impulse, he reached out, grabbed the back of her shirt, and yanked. The sound of fabric tearing sliced through the air. Emily stumbled forward, her tray clattering, drinks spilling to the floor. The bar fell silent. The jukebox still played, but it was distant, muffled beneath the weight of shock. Travis's friends erupted in brief laughter, but it died quickly as everyone saw Emily turn. Her face burned with shock, but it wasn't embarrassment that froze the room. It was what Travis had exposed. Across her shoulder and down her back ran thick, jagged scars, marks carved deep into her skin. Not fresh, but old and angry, reminders of pain that once threatened to consume her. The sight pulled the air out of every chest in the room. Even the toughest men shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Travis's grin faltered. He expected a slap, a scream, tears. But Emily didn't do any of those things. She straightened, clutching the torn fabric around her, and locked her gaze on Travis. Her voice, though quiet, was steady. "You think this makes you powerful?" she asked, her words trembling but unbroken. "You think tearing my shirt proves something? These scars aren't weakness. They're proof that I survived. Proof that I lived through something that should have taken me." The silence grew heavier. Even the hum of the neon lights seemed louder than the breathing in the room. No one moved. Men who had spent years hiding their own pain beneath leather and laughter suddenly felt stripped bare. Emily took a step back, her chin high though her hands shook. "Don't ever mistake cruelty for strength," she whispered. Then she turned and walked to the back room, her dignity intact, her scars uncovered, but her spirit unbroken. Travis sat frozen, his heart pounding. He had seen many things in his life. Fights, accidents, broken bones. But nothing had hit him like that moment. It wasn't just the scars. It was the courage in her voice. The way she stood taller when anyone else might have crumbled. His friends avoided his eyes, their earlier amusement replaced by discomfort. For once, Travis felt small, exposed in front of the very men he always tried to impress. He left the bar early that night. The roar of his motorcycle echoed down the highway, but for the first time, it didn't drown out his thoughts. He couldn't stop seeing her scars, hearing her words. The next day, Travis returned. Not with his crew, not with swagger, but alone. He walked in with hesitation that felt foreign to him. Emily was behind the counter, her hair tied back, focused on wiping glasses. She looked up, her face guarded when she saw him. Before she could speak, Travis set something on the counter. A neatly folded denim jacket. "I ruined your shirt," he said, his voice softer than anyone had ever heard it. "This won't fix what I did, but I wanted to try. Emily blinked, surprised. He wasn't smirking, wasn't making excuses. His hands were shoved into his pockets, his shoulders hunched as though the weight of his own shame pressed them down. She picked up the jacket, running her fingers over the stitching. "It's not about the shirt," she said quietly. "It's about respect. Don't take from someone what you don't understand." Travis nodded, his throat tight. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like the strongest man in the room. He felt like a student, humbled by a lesson he hadn't known he needed. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He didn't deserve it. But he left that bar determined never to be the man who tore someone down again. From then on, things shifted. Travis changed. Subtly at first, but enough for people to notice. He stopped mocking others, stopped using cruelty as currency among his friends. He listened more, spoke less. And though he and Emily never became close, he carried her words with him like scripture. The bar changed too. Emily's scars became a quiet reminder to everyone who walked in, that strength isn't measured in toughness or laughter at someone else's expense, but in the battles we carry silently, the ones nobody sees until they're forced into the light. In the end, this story isn't about a biker ripping a waitress's shirt. It's about what was revealed when he did. It's about the way pain can turn into power. The way scars can silence a room full of men who thought they'd seen everything. So the next time you're tempted to judge, to laugh, to tear someone down, remember Emily. Remember that every person you meet carries scars you may never see. And sometimes, when those scars are revealed, they don't show weakness. They show the kind of strength that can change even the hardest heart in the room.